samplers, computers, the way that we record.
Some of the best records I've ever heard are coming out of apartments in Brooklyn. It's pretty cool, and also it sucks because it makes the competition that much thicker.
Technology. How has it influenced our music? I mean, I don't think that our music would exist if it weren't for technological innovation.
I don't even know how bands did it back in the day.
That's kind of what life is all about now, because we live in an electronic age, so we're kind of bridging two worlds, the acoustic age, you know, the archaic world, and the world of the digital domain. We have one foot firmly planted in both domains, so that's what you're seeing now, a transition.
Without it, I probably played boring folk music. So I'm very grateful to have technology to kind of put some bump and grind into it. And it definitely allows me to go down different avenues that I couldn't without technology. So viva la electronic.
The drive space we have now is just ridiculous. The computers are so much faster.
My own production is pretty much straight out of the 40s.
So, although it has made the world a lot easier, and the processors have gotten a lot faster, and you can do a lot more stuff. You still have to get in there and create, but it does make it a lot easier.
Anyone can record an album now. You know, you don't have to. First of all, you don't have to have a lot of money, and you don't have to have some big record contracts.
Part of the reason the Beatles were big is because they were so great. The other part is that there wasn't so much competition back then. You know what I mean? There was a handful of bands on a handful of labels with billions of dollars to split amongst them. Now there's 800,000 bands on 100,000 labels, you know, and it's a pretty different scenario, but it's good for the music, you know, for sure.
With technology being as readily available as it is to everyone, we're starting to see more of a hipper kind of concert goer. And so they themselves can go into their local store or whatever and buy software to make beats. So I think you have more of an educated concert going coming to shows.
Well, one really good thing I think is overlooked is that you don't have to be in the same room with these wankers. I can do a recording on my laptop in my bedroom, and I don't even have to see my drummer for 3 months. So I can just email him the mix, right? And it is a great way to avoid fellow band members.
or fellow people at all.
Or people at all, yeah, you know. Apart from those strange weirdies you met on that Albanian porn site for one-legged lesbian that you kind of got a thing for.
That's what video cameras are for.
Yeah.
When my old record label created my MySpace page, and I was like, I called them up, I was so furious. I was like, I do not want to have to maintain some MySpace page, and it just sounded like a nuisance. You know, now it's kind of like the hub for how I can interact with people and you know, plug into that scene.
It's amazing how right now, you know, you could send out, you know, we'll send out an email, or, you know, whether it be through Facebook or, you know, through MySpace, or just our own, you know, our own email list, and reach, you know, 20, 30, 50,000 people with the touch of a button. The funny story is that we formed the band a lot through just Craigslist. Literally in the credits of our album, we wrote, "Thank you, Craig, for your list." Yeah.
I get most of my music off blogs, and it's so cool because it's all people like me who are just posting remixes, and then they get like 10,000 downloads.
Is the online world, is that really reward quality more than the old model?
I think it's yeah.
Especially when you can buy a track directly from the artist. You're putting the power back into the artist's hands, which is huge.
Because we can do it ourselves, and we are recording ourselves and producing ourselves, we were able to take a lot of time and really carve these songs out of stone.
So it's allowed us to kind of take our career in our own hands, and our music and our creativity in our own hands, and forge new ways to get that to the people.
I mean, internet distribution, digital distribution, any person, anywhere, regardless of what your thing is, you can record that and put it out there and have people buying directly from you, and that's cool, man. People will find music that people truly believe in.
And
I think
levels the playing field. Yeah. You know what I mean? If it's good, people are gonna get it.
We know overall, the more you can get your music out, and the more different ways you can get your music out, that can only be good.
Really, the music industry has changed so much in the last 10 years. It's unbelievable.
The old model's broken, gone, beyond gone.
Because of the decrease in sales of hard CDs, artists, we've had to, you know, find newer ways of staying in business.
And the new model has yet to present itself. There are people having success with lots of different approaches. So it's sort of like anybody's game.
But I think the best part about it all, music continues to grow.
It's like people thought music was going to die because the CD was going to die, but in fact it's exactly the opposite. It's like we each have more access to more music than we ever had.
I mean, having an iPod and being able to put it on shuffle purely alone, you know, that's a revolution for kids being able to listen to different music, you know, one style right after the other. And then you get the ideas of blending it together, and there's a lot more interesting stuff coming out of kids nowadays.
I think it's great, and I really support the, you know, the freedom of internet and the freedom of content to be experienced by people without limit.
I think we have to beware as musicians of technology overriding the basic thing of the need for actual face-to-face collaboration.
I think the smart thing is to just try stuff and take notes. And if something works, repeat it until it doesn't work. Creative capitalism will be its own reward if you have the balls to take it up, you know? As guys like you understand, you know?
Mimobot.